Rion's Ultimate Plan. Story by Terry Miller Shannon. Illustrations by Dave Clegg. Chapter 1. The Competition. "This is going to change my life," Rion muttered out loud. He had been crunching a mouthful of Galaxios as he watched the news scroll across his electronic placemat. With his computer set to the student info feed, he had skimmed his upcoming school schedule, announcements by the school administration bots, and other nearing-the-end-of-school vacation information. But this final message had caused him to sit up and take notice. As the thrilling news began to scroll away, he paused it with one trembling finger. "What's that?" his little brother Zigzag asked. He looked up from his own preschool computer feed as flashing pictures and letters of the alphabet scrolled across his placemat. "Something macro," Rion said, gesturing with wide-open arms. "What would you say if I got one of my paintings hung in Captain Raimundo's stateroom on his own personal starship?" Zigzag's mouth dropped open, displaying a little too much of Zigzag's chewed-up breakfast cereal. Eating cereal for breakfast instead of the usual quick-break pill was one of the old-fashioned, quirky habits the brothers occasionally shared. "How's that going to happen, Ry?" "Look here," Rion pointed at the paused news feed. "The Coalition is sponsoring a galaxy-wide art contest. And," Rion paused for effect, "it will be judged by none other than the great Captain Raimundo. He's your hero, isn't he, Ry? Definitely. And the art piece that wins the competition will be displayed in the captain's stateroom on board the Quark." "Oh," sighed Zigzag, "that would be totally chilly." Rion knew that this was his brother's favorite expression, and he also knew that winning the contest would be far cooler than just chilly. It would improve his life in so many ways. Even having his painting judged by Captain Raimundo would be a gigantic honor. If he actually won, it might also prove to his dad that Rion was a genuine artist and not just a dabbler. Rion's heart beat faster as he thought of another reason why winning the contest would be macro. Gamma 42, to call her by her full name with family number, was an art admirer. Rion wouldn't mind if Gamma, the girl with the gloriously brilliant purple hair, admired him too. Rion gazed at the painting his mother had hung on the wall above the kitchen bot's closet. The image was typical of Rion's artwork, mysterious and otherworldly. As most of his paintings tended to be, this one was a planetscape in hazy strokes of black, white, and gray. In the swirling mists, it seemed that one could almost catch a glimpse of a person, a robot, or an animal. The effect was intriguing and haunting. This particular piece was not his best work. It was a year or so old, and Rion felt he had improved his planetscapes since then. Yet it represented what he thought of as his artist's soul. He took great pride in the fact that no one had ever seen paintings like his. He worked to perfect his technique while keeping his artistic vision intact. Rion's mind drifted back to Gamma, remembering that once, when he had been scanning his artwork into the computer for the art teacher bot, he'd caught a faint mint scent. Turning, he'd come face to face with Gamma, who had then gazed down at the painting in his hands. Rion had been a bit dazzled by the light reflecting off her brilliant purple braids. "That is so chill," Gamma had whispered. And then she had turned and vanished, leaving a whiff of mint lingering in the air. No, Rion mused, it wouldn't be bad at all to have Gamma appreciate his art again. Chapter 2. The Competitors. Later that same day, Rion and his friend Rion, along with a handful of other students, were signing in for their starship piloting class. First, Rion and then Rion tilted his head back to allow the iris scanner to flash across his eyes. At the conclusion of each scan, the computer chirped, "Student is present and accounted for. Happy flying." "Just think," Rion said dreamily, "if we were living here on Earth in the 21st century, we wouldn't even be old enough to drive those cars they used to travel around in. It'd be more relaxing. Back in the old days, say 2010 or so, Most kids didn't eat.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?